What's up, everybody, and welcome to episode 10 of the IncntrolGaming podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Ole, and joining me, as usual, is my fellow co-host, PK. PK, how's it going, man?
I'm alright, man. How have you been?
I'm good, man. It's been a while. We know we've been off the air, so to speak, for a couple of weeks now. So, I'm kind of eager to get back into this.
You're pumped.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely pumped, So you've been hiding, you've been running away from me. The people have been demanding that we're back.
Well, not necessarily hiding. We were simply giving them time to miss us.
A little bit of time to miss us.
Yeah.
So guys, this is the IncntrolGaming podcast, your one-stop shop, as always, for all the latest gaming news, opinion, what's happening in the industry.
We like video games.
We love video games.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you're obsessed with video games.
Yeah, a little bit.
So this is us coming back. It's been a couple of weeks, but we're excited to come back into things. A lot of stuff has happened.
Too much has happened.
Too much has happened for us to completely cover in one podcast, but there's a few interesting bits which we have, as always. And a really interesting topic of the week for this week as well. So I hope you're pumped and excited.
I am pumped. Feels like forever.
Alright guys, so without further ado, let's get straight into it with our first section, which is the news. So we're recording this on Thursday the 28th, and the Red Dead Redemption 2 trailer just dropped a couple of hours ago. Hopefully Alan will have some footage up playing for you guys. I'm gonna be just watching it by myself here as well with Patrick obviously. But this trailer I thought captured the same tone that the first Red Dead had, which is really awesome. You get that full-on spaghetti western feel. The music is exactly like it was in the first game, which I thought was like amazing to making you feel like in that world. And the trailer, you guys should definitely go and check it out. Spring 2018 is still the release date.
Yeah. To be honest, when it comes to Rockstar, I think there is that certain level of bias that that they're going to release something that's really good.
Yeah.
When it comes to other developers and they want to branch out into these different genres, and Rockstar are very focused on this open world, it doesn't matter whether it's Western or it's GTA 5.
Yeah.
That when a company that big says that we are gonna put all our time, focus, and money
into this, yeah.
It's gonna be this generation or next generation at its nearest highest level. I don't know if it's fair to say if it's the highest level, but
I think
it's gonna be good enough to impress you.
Definitely. I mean, like visually as well, it looks amazing. You can really tell from the trailer, like in terms of the animation quality and the facial motion capture, like we've left PS3 and 360 behind. You know what I mean? Because even though GTA 5 was remastered for PS4 and Xbox One and PC, you can still tell, hey, this is a game that's kind of being shackled by the 360 and PS3.
I mean, like you even said, you said that there was that level of expectation where you thought that it was going to be more Grand Theft Auto 5 feel.
Exactly.
This looks way better.
Way better.
It looks way better.
I mean, just looking at it, like I'm just playing the video in front of myself now, and I'm like, it just looks so clean. Like you were saying, the lighting is incredible. On top of that, I mean, it's a prequel to Red Dead Redemption 1, we should say. So what it is I'm not sure exactly of the guy we're playing as. His name is, if I can just pull it up, Arthur Morgan, and this other guy called Van der Linde, which were parts of Dutch's gang from the first game. So we're going to be playing as those two characters, I think. I'm pretty sure it's going to be two characters from Dutch's gang, which is what John Marston, who was the main protagonist from the first game, was a part of, and he had to hunt down the entire crew from that same gang to like protect his family and everything. So
a small part of me wanted it to be his son, though. Small part.
Because we played as a son at the end of the first Red Dead. Well, I guess the thing is, like the first Red Dead, if you remember, the pitch was it was the end of days of the West. As modernization was coming in and the government was spreading its reaches across the West, and the son, he was mid-20s then, so you have to make him probably a bit older, maybe like. In terms of the time frame of the game, maybe it might have been hard to do much more. But then going back in time into like the heat of the moment in terms of the West, it's pretty cool. So yeah, you guys should definitely check out that full Red Dead trailer. If you love the first game, I'm almost certain that you're going to love this game as well.
Red Dead.
That's our first bit of news, just quickly going through that. Our second bit of news is something that I always advocate for on this channel and this podcast is being pro-consumer. I'm all about the consumer and them getting value for their money. And in this second bit of news we have, that's not the case. And this is to do with microtransactions in full $60 or £50, whatever currency you want. Full price games, basically.
I think I know where you're going with this.
You know where I'm going with this. So in NBA 2, we're talking about two releases, basically. We're kind of combining these two games because they've been close to each other. So NBA 2K18 just came out about 2 weeks ago. And it has had a big controversy, I'm sure you've seen this, Patrick, over microtransactions. In the My Career mode specifically, it is almost impossible to level up your character due to the virtual currency implementation in the game, in terms of you have to spend real money to get this virtual currency to actually level up your character in terms of stats and everything. And there's been a really big backlash in terms of this. I don't know where you stand on this, because I feel like you're the same as me.
Why put in the microtransactions into a sports game in order for you to progress in career mode?
The microtransactions have always been there in my career mode. It's just that this year specifically, they've gone pretty much overboard. So like, for example, 15,000 virtual currency costs $5, right? And from what I'm seeing, stuff like a haircut, which you can't even preview on your character, will cost 5,000 virtual currency.
So
5,000.
So if you're putting these type of microtransactions simply to change the appearance of your player, so you cannot achieve any of this without spending your actual money? Is it a point where like you cannot even get a haircut?
No,
in real life, obviously you can't get a haircut without money. But this is a video game, and I've paid full price.
Oh yeah, you pay for your haircut, your sneakers, you pay for all of that. But on top of that is the fact that's fine for me. But the fact of the matter is you have to spend virtual currency, which you can earn in game. But the drop rate is so low. So you'll play a match of 2K in my career, and you'll be rewarded with about 500 virtual currency, which is almost nothing. You know what I mean? For the one game. And then you have to spend that in points improving your shooting or defensive abilities and stuff like that. So if someone pays, let's say they spend, $20, get 75,000 VC, they have a leg up on you. You have to grind, whereas they can spend to get ahead of everybody else.
So essentially someone is gonna have the way better avatar, obviously.
Of course.
Simply because they spend money way more chips.
Exactly. And don't forget, you have paid $60 in advance for this game. So you're adding all that on top. So
it brings up the question for me whether what direction are sports games going in general?
Yeah. Because we have FIFA Ultimate Team doing something similar, though I think that's a bit more value for money, because there's never this much anger about it.
I mean, look at it this way. We've all played FIFA, and FIFA, we all know how much our country, just in general, how our community advocates FIFA as a video game.
Oh yeah.
A lot of people play FIFA.
FIFA is a lifestyle.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Now, if the gameplay is right, I'm not gonna dispute that FIFA has got good gameplay. And it's the same with Pro Evo. It's different. I still prefer Pro Evolution Soccer gameplay. Yeah. But the fact of the matter is that they're both pretty good games when it comes to the football itself. Is this the direction that sports games are only gonna go? Are we only gonna focus on the gameplay?
It's great that you say that, because it's not only sports games that have a lot of these microtransactions coming in, tying into this story, because I did say it's two games. We have Shadow of War, which is the new, the sequel to Middle Earth, Shadow of Mordor. It's a single player only game, but it has loot box microtransactions similar to Overwatch, which is just insane when you think about this is a single player only game. And via Eurogamer, the direct game designer had an interview with Eurogamer explaining why they have these loot boxes in the game. And he basically argued that it's a reason for them to save players time. In terms of players who don't have a lot of time to play big games, so they can spend more money on these loot boxes where they don't know what they're getting out of, because it's a form of gambling, should I say.
Does this mean that if I've got the money, then I can have one of the top 3 weapons as soon as I start?
Yeah, well, theoretically you could, because things are ranked by rare, legendary, and stuff like that. Okay. The thing is, you don't know what you're getting out of that loot box.
That's kind of bullshit, though.
Exactly, it is, and it's a single-player game as well, so in that sense, it's even more scummy, because you're kind of not playing with other people, you know what I mean? And you paid $60 like for that single player experience. Why are you being asked to spend more money on a gamble of getting more loot? So, because there's been a lot of backlash to this game as well.
Yeah, if it's a single player game and it doesn't affect me in the sense that if I meet up with you, like, I mean, looking at it from another perspective, if we're playing Destiny 2 together and then you spent way more money and you've got this legendary gear that I don't have, then it's kind of different because now we're playing together in the same environment.
Now, Destiny 2 doesn't have that.
Yes, of course. As an example, whether we're playing together in free roam or we're playing against one another, that's different. But if it's a single player game, should we really be hard hitting on these guys as much as... Well, should they be receiving as much fire?
Yes, I mean, absolutely they should, because they could artificially design the game where it nudges you into spending money. Because you have
a pop-up saying that. Is this hard?
The game design
Would
itself,
you want to buy?
The drop rates could be low, or the way the game is designed, it doesn't facilitate you getting those rewards. Because those rewards are in-game from the loot box. The loot box is just your gambling option on the side. Yeah. So the game could be designed in such a way that you're like, you know what? I've been grinding for hours and hours and not just getting what I want.
Haven't got that weapon.
Not even that weapon. The specifics, I just don't feel like I'm progressing my character. So what the hell? I might as well spend $5 and see what I get. You see what I'm saying? But the game designer has said we've worked our tails off to make this massive game, and as a designer, I focus on balancing it. We do a ton of play testing and make sure.
Yeah, balance was spoken about a lot.
He said we do a ton of play testing and make sure it is tuned to a setting where people can enjoy it. We kept all of the loot boxes and the economy of real-world money turned off in play testing, so we know we are balancing around an experience which is rewarding without any of that stuff. So he's come out and said it, but I mean, probably PR were right behind him. So I mean, it's crazy that microtransactions have been the theme of 2017 to a certain extent. They're basically infiltrating every game.
It kind of sucks.
Yeah, it does suck. So guys, I think everybody watching this should just keep an eye out for these, like, I mean, maybe a lot of you guys are probably used to paying for stuff in like mobile games and stuff like that, which is fair because a lot of those games are free in the first place. So the initial investment isn't high, but it becomes scummy when you're paying up front for a lot of these
full
games.
Price.
Yeah, I mean, the virtual, I mean, here is the NBA 2K virtual currency. Does this not look like a mobile game?
Yeah, it does.
It looks exactly like a mobile game. So that's kind of crazy. So keep an eye out for that, guys. But hopefully, it's not with Shadow of War specifically. It's not as bad as it looks right now. So moving on to our third story. This is to do with the Switch, because the Switch is still here, alive and kicking, Patrick.
Nintendo, it's their year.
It exactly is their year. So a cool story in the last week and a half is that we've got more Big 30 publishers supporting the Switch, because before it came out, what were we talking about with these third-party companies? Your Activisions, your Bethesdas, your Ubisofts, how much will they support the Switch? Well, we got two really recent port announcements that are pretty interesting. First of all, Rockstar releasing LA Noire, which is a 2012 or 11 game. Really cool detective game, really unique. It's being remastered also for PS4, Xbox One, and PC, but the fact that it's coming to Switch is pretty cool. It's going to have touchscreen control, gyro aim. It's going to be 1080p docked, 720p in handheld. coming out on December 7th. Yeah. And then on top of that, we have Bethesda as well, really supporting the Switch. They've already done Skyrim for Switch, which is coming out in a couple of weeks.
Skyrim just keeps coming back.
Skyrim is the game.
We can't get rid of it.
That keeps on giving. Yeah, it's not going anywhere. We have Skyrim VR. Like, it's not ending.
Skyrim is the bandit.
Oh yeah, Skyrim is the bandit. Yeah, it's great. It is. Yeah, bandit of video games. I like that.
And FF15 is slowly creeping up. She's also accumulating.
You've got to milk these franchises for all you can. So Bethesda, I thought this is also really cool. Sorry, they're supporting the Switch by releasing Doom, which came out last year. It's coming out later this year for the Switch, as well as Wolfenstein.
What frame rate will Doom be on?
Oh, Doom is going to run at 30 FPS. It's a bit too much for the little guy. It can't do 60 FPS. So it's a bit of a watered down version in that sense of frame rate. And Doom, the thing is key is frame rate. I mean, 60 FPS, it has to be buttery smooth, lovely transitions when you're doing the glory kills. But according to Eurogamer, who went hands-on with this at EGX, they said it was a pretty decent port, even though it's running at 30 FPS. As well as Wolfenstein 2, which for me is the bigger deal because that's a new game. It's only coming out next month. It's only gonna come on the Switch in 2018. But I think that's pretty cool as well. So, what do you think, man?
Does that mean that it's more when Wolfenstein comes out? Does that mean that it's going to be more tailor-made to the Switch? Because obviously, when Doom comes out, there are some adjustments that they'll have to make.
Oh yeah, they'll definitely have to make some.
So Wolfenstein has got this dedicated attention to the Switch platform.
Well, it's being outsourced. It's being handled by Panic Button, who have done Rocket League on Switch, which by all accounts is a pretty fine port. There's nothing wrong with it. And going with what Eurogamer have said, I think we're probably all right.
Yeah, because there is also a sense that sometimes you don't know whether when a game gets released on the Switch or another platform in general, there will be that watering down effect, and you don't know whether if this game should I pay full price
on the Switch? I mean, the portability is a big factor for me. So, you're able to play it out of your house, on your bed, wherever. So you have to take that into
I can play Doom on the go. I can play Wolfenstein on the go. But then also, I just have to know what quality am I paying for right now?
You know? Well, that's why we have YouTube, Patrick. So you can watch endless gameplay videos and make a decision as an informed consumer.
As an informed consumer.
It's cool to see big 30 publishers still supporting the Switch. It seems to be gaining momentum as more time goes on. That's great to see. And moving on to our final story of the week, and this is just a heads up for you guys. Nothing too crazy, just to do with monthly games for October on PlayStation Plus and Xbox games with Gold. So on Xbox for October, you're going to get Gone Home. I still have that on my PS4 actually. I haven't played it. It came out on PS Plus a while back. I haven't played it. Gone Home, if you like walking simulator narrative-driven games, is really good. The Turing Test, Rayman 3 HD, and Medal of Honor.
I get into Rayman.
Yeah, and Medal of Honor Airborne, which work on Xbox One thanks to backwards compatibility, which is awesome. And then on PS Plus, we've got Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain, which is a pretty big one. So if you have not played this game, I highly encourage you to download this. We're going to have Amnesia Collection, which is the collection of all the Amnesia games. Really cool bunch of horror games. We have Rigs for PSVR. We have That's You. I say that enthusiastically, there's an exclamation at the end, which is a cool party game to play on your PS4 that goes with phones up to 7 players. Hustle Kings, which is a pretty cool pool game. Hue, which is a weird indie game that I saw a trailer for, I'm not too sure about. Monster Jam Battlegrounds, and Skyforce Anniversary. The last 3 are on PS3 and Vita. So those are the games of the month. I think Metal Gear Solid 5 is the highlight.
That is definitely the highlight.
I would definitely say that's the highlight.
Which is a damn good game.
Very good game. Terrible story.
I was about to say, without taking into consideration the story.
Yeah, the story is
but
garbage.
The gameplay felt so good. Such a good shooter.
Yeah, great stealth game. So get that.
Switching weapons as well.
Oh yeah, smooth as butter. So guys, that's going to wrap it up for our news section of the week. Thanks very much for joining this segment. Make sure you tune in to the next, where we're going to be discussing topic of the week. Thanks a lot.
Bye.